So we got this question from one of our friends, and I have seen a lot of people in the similar situation, right? You might find yourself in this very own situation as well. So he goes on describing that he's been dating this woman for past 3 years now, all right? And when he goes out or like wherever outside, when he sees a beautiful woman, he couldn't stop thinking about her. That woman constantly is in his mind, right? And for the entire day, he couldn't think of anything else but that woman. Now, he felt really bad because he says that on one hand, he really, really, really loves his girlfriend. But at the same time, whenever, he can't just stop going out in the market or public or the gym or whatever. And then whenever he sees this hot, beautiful chick, it's just constantly running in his mind and he can't get his head out of it. What's up, Doc? Some of you might face kind of similar situations, right? I've seen a lot of guys asking me the same things like, hey, am I cheating? Am I cheating my girlfriend? I think the best way to answer is, let me rant about it a little bit. I think it's because there's such a thing called guilt that has been so deep rooted by society, by us, into our children, that it has taken a toll in your head. What happens is it all starts from like a very early age, right? So let's say you are in your early childhood and it starts with like the body training. It all starts from there, right? You have your kid and you're making him go through his body training. We as parents, when I say we as parents, we tend to neglect the intelligence of body and forces our own intelligence, which is nothing compared to the intelligence of body, by saying you should not be doing it this way and you should be doing that way, right? Let me give you an example. So when you're a kid and you're going through the body training, your mom and dad or whoever, right, parents, adults, guardians, must have trained you to do certain things. For example, do not listen to your body. You always have to sit down, finish your food. You're tending to neglect the intelligence of your human body, which is so superior. It knows what to eat, what not to eat, at what time. Body is so intelligent in that sense, right? And then you started feeling guilty. Well, why am I always getting up from the table and I'm not eating my food, all of it, and my mom and dad constantly yelling at me, and then guilt starts there, right? And then similarly, you go to school, mom and dad goes to work, and then you're still in that phase where you're going through body training. Your body, it's smart, it does its own thing, it has a natural way of doing things. Let's say you shit in your pants, right? You feel guilty about it, or you fart. You feel so guilty about it because according to the society, the social norms, you tend not to do it. Now it's all guilt constantly building up in your head. It's building up. And these things continue from your childhood to your adulthood to your manlyhood, so on and so forth, right? And the same thing is happening with you, my friend. So first of all, let me give you the answer to your question. And he goes on and asking, is there something wrong with me? Like, am I mentally sick, or am I clinically depressed? Something's wrong psychologically with me. Nothing is wrong with you except your guilt, right? So you see a woman, and it also goes for women as well. You go out, like women, it's a bit different for women actually, because sure, they fantasize guys, but they don't tend to fantasize, and I can't say for every woman, but most generally speaking, they tend to fantasize their men in a manly way, but they don't have like a face usually when they fantasize, and it's more for the nurturing purpose, for loving, for caring things, right? Sure that they can have fantasies. Let's not dive into that. But as a man, when you look at a woman, all we want to do is thinking about sex. Have sex with that woman, right? Women fantasies are a bit different than men, but it goes both ways, right? You can judge. What's happening with you is when you tend to think about those women, you see your guilt is building up because you're feeling guilty that why this woman is still going on in my head and I should have stopped. I love my wife, I love my girlfriend. This is the wrong thing, right? So there's nothing psychologically wrong or anything, it's just you can do a few things. Look at it this way. You're in a shopping mall, right? You see a hot chick, a beautiful girl. You look at her and then you appreciate her. You imagine, don't say it to her, just in your head. Sometimes girls are good at reading signals. She might probably know if you're like staring at her or like, what are you thinking in your head? Girls are better at that. They have this intuitive feeling. And then you say, wow, this is such a nice body, right? And then you accept it without any judgment, without any guilt. You think about this and then you move on. Maybe you fantasize a little bit more, or like, hey, I mean, you might want to have sex, but now, hold on. Because you have chosen a path in your life that you are restricting yourself to just one woman. That's why it is okay to look at other women, appreciate the beauty, right? In whenever way you want, in your head, accept it, embrace it, and move on. Move on, right? The problem why this question came to your head and why you feel that you're clinically depressed because of this thing is because your guilt is stopping you. You're thinking that you're doing something wrong. And let me tell you something. So here's a little scenario that happened with me. I was 18 years old, my very first year of bachelor's, right? I was doing my bachelor's degree, and then it was like the initial first few months. And then, you're not used to the college, and then classes are so tedious and all that. And I remember it was this physics class going on, and then I was a bit tired and I was feeling a bit sleepy. And then you slept a little bit, and then so you're not sleeping, but you're just like a little bit napping, and your eyes are closing, and then but you're still focused in there because you're afraid that teacher might look at you and he might yell at you. And then guys have this tendency, so when you're in the sleep state, you get erections. Not all the time, but most of the times, right? And I had this really awkward boner, what you call. What so happened is my teacher was like whatever he was teaching, and then he pointed at me and he asked me, hey, you boy, get up, answer me this. Now I have to stand up. That's kind of what we do in India. When we have to answer, you stand up, you answer. We can still do that in here. And then I had to stand up. It was an obligation if I put just, but now I have a boner down there, right? I wasn't ashamed of it. I knew it's there, but there was a bit hesitation, right? Still, now I'm comfortable with it. But initially I had this bit hesitation that, oh, he might look at it. All the people around me look at it and they might laugh. But then consciousness came in. I grounded myself and I thought this is a perfectly natural phenomena. It is my body reacting, right? That means I'm healthy. That means I am, whatever I'm doing, my body is responding good to it, right? So I stood up and I was trying to explain, and then he pointed to me, he said, no, come to the blackboard, explain it, write it down. It was sort of mathematical solving thing. I don't know what. I went up to that stage and I see it was like the more, the guys can relate to it. The more you try to, hide it, it's harder because you're constantly thinking about it. That's why it's just over there. And then you're like suppressing it. It's like, oh, come on, dude, sit down. I decided to embrace this feeling, and I just went on to the stage, just like that, right? Like in the front of the class. Everybody looked at it. Some guy made a comment about it, and then everybody started laughing. I could have felt embarrassed over there, but I stood there and I was laughing. Yes, I was laughing. I'm not ashamed of it. I wasn't ashamed of it. But I also accepted it instead of feeling guilty about it, right? This is your body reacting to it. My teacher looked at it and he felt so embarrassed, and he was like, something's wrong with you. Why? And he pretended that he didn't see this, and then why the whole class started laughing and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, but I'm just telling you this story because I didn't feel the guilt, and then I moved on. Sure, it was a topic of discussion for many days, but because I seem to not get embarrassed about it, not feel guilt about it, my body, my head accepted it, so does everyone around me. I love reading to Osho, right? And one of the teachings that he gave is, it's about a flower. Yeah, so think of it from this example. You're walking down the street and you see this beautiful like bunch of flowers on the side, right? And then you smell something and it smells so good. The smell is so awesome, your body reacted to it. It's like, whoa, this is something good. Now you have two choices over there, right? You stand over there, you smell the smell, enjoy it, accept it, embrace it, and move on. Or you could just pluck the flower and kill it, which is like owning it. Now, if you don't understand the relation, it's more like you look at a beautiful girl, or from girl's perspective, you look at a guy, you imagine and you say, wow, he or she is beautiful and nothing's wrong with it, right? And then you move on. There's no guilt, there's embracement, and then you move on. You forget about it. That's how it should be. But if you pick it up, if you pluck the flower, and then you was like, no, this is mine, I'm gonna keep it by myself, right? I'm not gonna share it. Which is then to say that either you're gonna go cheat with your boyfriend, girlfriend, or you are so protective of just like your thing, possession, that you don't want to share the smell, the life with anyone else. Listen, my friend, you don't own your wife. Your wife don't own you, or your girlfriend, or your boyfriend, whatever the scenario is. You should embrace the qualities of your partner, embrace it, smell it. In future, when I would have a wife, right, there's no possession. Sure, she would, like, I would definitely choose when we have like the same kind of thinking with just me and all that, but I will not own my wife, right? I would encourage you to do the same. You are having fun with your wife and you're making love or whatever, and then she has to go, she has to do certain things. You might be disappointed, which is completely okay. Embrace it, right? But if she is willing to go, she thinks that this is something that she has to do, you embrace it. Feeling bad about it, like you don't want her to go, you don't want her to leave, that is okay, right? But if she wanna go, embrace it. You don't own her. And same goes for you, my dude. She in no way owns you, right? So this is it for this video. I hope you like my style and what I thought, and put down your comments down in the comment section what you think about it, and keep sending me all your love, and you guys been great. We've been growing, and I got so many appreciations in my email, and sometimes when I video call people, they're like, well, your teachings are great and all this. I love it. Thank you so much. Keep following it, keep sharing it. Peace. Done.
Now follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and hit the subscribe button on this YouTube channel. Go, do it now.